Okay, I'm going to show you how to graph a line in y equals mx plus b format, but I guess first we have to learn what is y equals mx plus b format. So if you see a line in this format, y equals mx plus b, you got to know what the m and the b represent. So in this format, the m represents the slope, and we spent a lot of time talking about what slope is, so you guys should be pretty familiar with the concept of slope. And the b we haven't learned yet, but it's the y-intercept. And the y-intercept just tells you where a line crosses the y-axis. So if you come over here and look at this coordinate plane here, this going left and right is the x-axis, and this going up and down is the y-axis. And the y-intercept just tells you where the line crosses the y-axis. So I think the easiest way to see this is with an example. Let's say you had a line like y equals negative 2/3 x plus 4. Okay, so the y-intercept in this case is positive 4. So what we can do is we can go over to our coordinate plane here and put a dot on the y-axis at positive 4, because the y-intercept tells us that this graph crosses the y-axis, the graph of this line crosses the y-axis at positive 4. Then the number in front of the x, which in this case is negative 2/3, that's the slope. And we learned what slope means. It's change in y over change in x. So the top number tells us how much the line goes up or down, and the bottom number tells us how much the graph goes left to right. So starting from this point here, we're going to go down to -1, -2, and then over 1, 2, 3. And you can just put another dot or another point right there on the line. And that's it. You're actually done. All you got to do then is just connect these two, and that's it. I didn't do that perfectly, but that's your line. That's the line y equals -2/3x plus 4. Okay, let's look at one like this where we don't have a fraction for the slope. So let's say we had something like y equals 3x minus 2. So remember, we have a line in this format. The 3, the number in front of the x, represents the slope. And this number over here represents the y-intercept. This is where I always like to start. I know that this line crosses the y-axis at -2. So you just go, remember, here's our x and here's our y. So you just go to the y-axis, you go down -1, -2, and put a dot there, because we know that this line crosses the y-axis at -2. Now it's actually easier to do the slope when you see it as a fraction. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rewrite this slope of 3 as 3/1. It's the same slope, just it's a little easier to see this way when it's written as a fraction. 3 is the same as 3/1. Because when you see it written this way, you can count the change in y is 3, and then the change in x is 1. So from this point, remember the y tells us how much we go up and down. In this case, I have positive 3, so I'm going to go up 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to go over 1. So all I did was I took this slope of 3, I wrote it as a fraction, 3/1, and then it tells me I go up 1, 2, 3, and then over 1. And again, all you got to do is connect these 2 points with a line, and you're done. That's your line. This is the line y equals 3x minus 2.